October 21st, 1999. Location, Western North Carolina, Blue Ridge Sector, Unincorporated Ranger District. At 4:47 a.m. on October 17, 2021, a distressed 911 call was made by an off-duty forestry technician, Paul Kinley, from a logging trail deep within Grover Hollow, a remote area of the Appalachian Mountains. The call was brief and garbled, consisting mostly of screaming, the sound of heavy breathing, and a final phrase. It ripped out of her. Oh God, it wasn't a bear. Responding officers from Jackson County Sheriff's Department located Kinley's vehicle and campsite by noon. Kinley was found 230 yards from his fire pit, disemboweled, eyes missing, and his ribs cracked open. No animal tracks identifiable to known regional species were found. Only deep gouges in the clay, as if by claws, spaced unusually wide apart. In the week leading up to the event, there had been 3 separate reports by hunters and hikers of unnatural howls described as too deep for a coyote, too long for a bear. Large claw marks found 9 feet up on tree trunks. The carcasses of animals, a fox, a deer fawn, and a black vulture, arranged in spiral patterns, with no sign of scavenging. These were initially dismissed as pranks or misidentifications. Autopsy report. Subject, dead female Ursus arctos, recovered October 19th. The bear carcass was discovered 0.6 miles from Kinley's location, partially buried under pine needles. Estimated weight, 330 pounds. Estimated time of death, 36 to 48 hours prior. The abdominal cavity was ruptured outward, not inward, suggesting a violent force from within. The uterus was obliterated, and portions of the pelvic bone fractured outward, as if by pressure. Tissue analysis revealed unusual genetic anomalies, including unidentified hair follicles within the uterine walls, inconsistent with typical bear fetuses. In layman's terms, something forced its way out of this bear from the inside, something not of its species. Eyewitness testimony, survivor interview, restricted clearance. Annie Lowell, age 54, part-time herbalist and wildlife rehabilitator, 3.2 miles east of Grover Hollow, Ridge Cabin. I know the bears. I've raised 3 cubs myself. What came out of that one wasn't nature. I heard the screams, hers and the thing inside. The air split open around 2 in the morning. I saw it, big as a yearling moose, walked like a man but leaned like it wanted to be a dog. Muscles wrong, bent wrong, arms too long, and that mane around its neck, thick and gold like a lion. Its face was bear and wolf all at once, but hollow, like a mask. Eyes shined like dead coal. It looked at me and didn't blink, just sniffed the air and walked into the trees. I haven't slept since. Unclassified DNA sample. Designation, X1172. Hair samples recovered at the site of Kinley's death show. 38% match to Canis lupus, gray wolf. 31% match to Ursus arctos, brown bear. 11% match to Panthera leo, African lion. Geographically impossible 20%, unidentifiable. Not in any zoological database. Additionally, the hair contains a bizarre keratin structure, triple braided strands not found in mammals. Bioluminescent properties under UV light. Working theory, not for public dissemination. AWF-CAD's internal theory, pending confirmation, suggests the bear may have been impregnated by an anomalous or mutated cryptid via unknown means. Subjected to some parasitic or experimental event possibly tied to known missing persons, case BLX902, the Ash Harvest Project. Given the intelligent movement, patterned kills, and lack of fear toward humans, X1172 is not simply an apex predator. It is behaving with intent. Addendum. Field Agent Audio Log, November 1st, 1999. Saw it at 3:47 a.m., stood on two legs at the tree line. No breath fog in 28-degree air. That mane, it swayed, not like hair, more like antennae. It watched me, not hungry, just watching. I've hunted grizzlies, tracked cougars. Whatever this is, it's looking for something. I think it remembers being born. Status: ongoing threat. X-1172 is believed to still reside within the Grover Hollow Basin, where the soil is deep, the trees close, and the mist rolls in before dusk. No further sightings have been reported publicly. Locals say the howling has stopped, but only because whatever made the sounds no longer needs to call out. It knows where it is. Warning: do not enter area beyond mile marker 49 after dark. USS Javelin, loss and anomalous deep-sea engagement, Philippine Sea, June 4, 1945, Walter E. Halloway, survivor, psychological eval grade B-2. On June 1, 1945, just weeks after the Japanese formal surrender, USS Javelin, DD-649, a Fletcher-class destroyer, was reassigned to a classified post-war recon route in the Philippine Sea, tasked with patrolling unmarked deep-water trenches for possible remains of scuttled Axis submarines. The region was known to contain depths exceeding 10,000 meters, poorly mapped even by 1940s hydrographic standards. The mission was greenlit under Operation Skyla, a joint intel sweep with British Royal Navy elements withdrawn shortly before the event. Summary of events from survivor testimony. June 4th, 1945, approx. 0213 hours. Sea state, calm. Visibility, clear. Moon, new. From the report of Lieutenant Commander Halloway, ship's XO and radar officer. First came the malfunction. Sonar began giving false positives. Depth returns as though something enormous was moving just beneath the ship, but without cavitation or signature wake. Then the temperature dropped. Nearly 11 degrees in 6 minutes. Condensation coated everything. Radios hissed with what we thought was Morse, but it wasn't. Not code. More like a pulse, steady and intelligent. At 2:13, we lost main power. Backup kicked in. Captain was about to order a beacon drop when the hull rang. Not an impact, a knock, deliberate. 5 slow knocks from beneath us. Seaman Wilcox was topside when the first dorsal fin appeared. He thought it was a sub-breach until the mouth came. Jesus God, the mouth. The creature was described as approximate length, 60 to 70 feet jaw span, comparable to World War II landing craft teeth, serrated, triangular, 8 to 10 inches in length, some broken eye structure, recessed, bioluminescent skin, pitted, black-gray, bearing scars like submarine hull scoring. Halloway's log entry adds, not a shark, a mistake of one. Like something made the idea of shark, but didn't finish thinking it through. Its eyes weren't hunting, they were waiting. During the attack, 4 crewmen taken in the first strike, hull breached midship. Ballast tanks crushed inward, as if by external pressure. A second anomaly surfaced behind it, a vertical structure described as ribbed, spined, and moving against ocean current. Second entity, unknown classification. Eyewitness accounts, 3 surviving crew, described a presence, not entirely visible. Estimated size, impossible to measure. What appeared was a portion of something vast, luminescent patterns along unseen body lines, resembling ancient symbology or cephalopod chromatophores, a low-frequency hum, below 10 Hz, inducing disorientation, nosebleeds, and in one case, a fatal aneurysm. Halloway's most chilling entry. The shark wasn't hunting us. It was being led, controlled, like a mastiff on a chain. But the chain was in its brain. The thing behind it didn't move like an animal. It moved like a thought waking up from under the sea floor. USS Javelin sank at 0227 26 nautical miles off the Mariana Trench edge. Of 243 crew, 7 survived. 4 died within 48 hours of cognitive deterioration or severe neural inflammation. Autopsies showed precise cerebral lesions, suggesting targeted sonic exposure, not trauma. The 3 remaining survivors were institutionalized within 6 months. Holloway remained coherent the longest. His final written note before suicide, August 1950. "We are not at the top of the ocean. We were never the top of the food chain, just above the glass. Below, something waits. Not ancient, older than ancient. It used the megalodon like a flare, not to hunt, to say hello." Official cause of Javelin's loss filed as torpedo impact from undetonated Japanese submine. Sila initiative disbanded. All further trench explorations suspended until 1953. British intelligence filed identical incident under Operation Thanatos. Royal Navy trench losses, 1946. The entity, designated Thalassa Prime, is classified as a Leviathan-level threat, hypothesized to operate via non-local biological control. A neural web capable of influencing deep-sea megafauna, perhaps even shaping them. Satellite mapping of trench anomaly fields to resume. Any megalodon sightings should be treated not as isolated reemergences, but as signals of deeper agency. 1735. Leeds Point, Pine Barrens, province of New Jersey. According to colonial accounts, a Quaker woman identified in church records as Deborah Leeds gave birth to her 13th child during a lightning storm in January 1735. Local oral history, supported by midwife journals from the nearby Egg Harbor settlement, describes an unusual and catastrophic birth. Witnesses recorded that the child emerged normal, then began to scream in inhuman tones, morphed, reportedly growing hooved feet, bat-like wings, and a long tail. Killed the midwife and escaped through the chimney, which was found shattered. Bricks melted from within, as if from intense localized heat. Though largely considered folklore, contemporary forensic geologist Dr. Janice Morales' 2013 report confirmed anomalous vitrification of 18th century chimneys in the Leeds Point area, consistent with extreme interior combustion events. Historical documentation, 1735 to 1899. The following verified sources recorded sightings or evidence of the entity. 1840 to 41. Farmers report slaughtered livestock in Camden and Gloucester counties. Hoofprints with bipedal gait found in snow leading to no known predator. No drag marks. 1873. Forest Ranger Elias Woodruff, per journal recovered in 1912, described a shrieking, featherless bird horse with glowing eyes over Batstow Creek. The entry includes a pressed pine sprig covered in hemoglobin-positive residue, still preserved. 1899. A rash of sightings culminated in the death of a mule outside Smithville. Eyes gouged, heart removed with clean anatomical precision. Locals blamed a demon wind. State troopers noted unidentifiable hair and calcium-rich mucus on surrounding trees. The January Panic, 1909. In the week of January 16th to 23rd, 1909, over 1,000 reports of a winged creature surfaced across South Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania, and Delaware. Documented by multiple credible sources, including police officers in Camden and Bristol postmasters, teachers, and school children in Trenton. A trolley car full of passengers near Salem who claimed the creature struck the power line, causing a citywide blackout. Common description: a kangaroo-like body, horse face, bat wings, glowing eyes, and a chilling scream like a crying infant run backward. In the aftermath, blood samples and tufts of quill-like hair were sent to the Smithsonian. The results were inconclusive, but noted keratin structures inconsistent with any known avian or mammalian fauna. Modern encounters, 1948 to 2015. 1948, Fort Dix Airfield military radar captured a low-flying object moving at erratic, non-ballistic trajectories over the base. Fighter jets scrambled. One pilot claimed visual contact. Looked like a massive bird with hooves and no feathers. It dove, intelligent, like it wanted to be seen. No kill confirmed. One F-86 crashed in pursuit. Declassified logs redact mention of unusual atmospheric entity. 1972, Ong's Hat, New Jersey. 3 teenagers disappear while hiking. 2 found 48 hours later, dehydrated and mute. 3rd never recovered. Trail cam discovered in 2008, long defunct. Shows distorted winged form in the background. Legs appear digitigrade with cloven hooves. 2015, Pine Barrens, Wharton State Forest Park Ranger, Morgan Tesh files internal memo. Not a bear, not a bobcat. I saw it feeding on a deer. Didn't run. Just looked at me, wings twitching like it was thinking. She later resigned, citing paranormal harassment, and developed night terrors involving infrasound phenomena. Behavioral profile. Analysis suggests the Jersey Devil exhibits nocturnal ambush behavior, highly territorial but non-predatory toward humans, unless provoked, utterly silent during movement, despite wingspan estimated at 6 to 8 feet, emits infrasound frequencies, 17 to 19 hertz, capable of causing nausea, dread, and hallucinations. EEG recordings from experimental field teams show neural disruption consistent with seizure induction when in proximity to suspected activity. Theological psychological correlates. Recent analysis from OAZR's Behavioral Symbolism Division suggests the Jersey Devil may be a tulpa-style entity, a mythological being that becomes real through collective belief, guilt, and cultural trauma. The Pine Barrens were home to displaced Lenape tribes, colonial religious outcasts, and victims of industrial slavery. Contain over 1,400 abandoned buildings, forming a psychogeographic maze of collective American repression entity, may act as a manifestation of inherited guilt, formed from isolation, superstition, and post-colonial erasure. Closure status. Unresolved entity remains uncontained. Last reported sighting, October 11th, 2019. Park camera at Godfrey Bridge recorded blurred winged form, accompanied by mutilated deer, stripped of skin but not meat. Subject JD173513A is now considered partially corporeal, intermittent, exhibits predatory mimicry of infant cries, cannot be dismissed as mere folklore.